Hello, my name is Malena and I graduated from the University of Life. Today's lesson is about knowing that your feelings are valid. Everything that you feel anger, you feel tired, you feel lonely, you feel abandoned, you feel happy, you feel any feeling that you have in your heart is valid, right? So you're feeling angry, it's okay. You didn't like something, that's okay, right? Everything we feel is things that are coming up to us when life is taking place. During the day, you wake up all happy and suddenly some coworker or some friend or someone just says something or does something that annoys you, and from the annoying comes that anger that you say, you know. However, what is not valid is how you behave after something happened to you, right? If you're sad, your behavior of, let's say, drinking is not justified, right? Your feelings are justified, but your behavior is not justified. Never, none of our behaviors is ever justified. So you have to be very mindful of what kind of behaviors you're going to be having in your life. You're going to have to be very mindful of how you react to every single feeling that you have. Let's say you're happy, right? I mean, it even happens to me once. I was so happy and being loud and blah, 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 blah. And then I did some, like, everybody thought I was drunk, but I wasn't drunk. I was just being silly, right? So even behaviors of joy can be not appropriate behaviors, right? Everything has to be thought of. Every single behavior that you put out there in the world is not for people to judge you, it's for you to be good to yourself. How are you going to be good to yourself? You're going to choose the behaviors that are appropriate for yourself. When we say the word appropriate, we always keep thinking of, oh, what is people going to say? And I already told you, whatever people think or say doesn't matter, it's not important, but what you think of yourself is extremely important. So it is also very important that you be mindful of what behavior you're going to have when you're angry. Are you going to be raising your voice and screaming and yelling at someone and being rude? Are you going to turn into a Karen because someone parked in your spot? Yeah, you have the right to get angry because someone just took your spot that you've been waiting there nicely and someone just goes in there. It's happened to me. You can turn into a Karen, or you can just simply look for another parking lot and move on, because maybe we're meant to be in that parking lot. Maybe someone was going to scratch your car. You never know. Anything that happens to you, you need to know how you're going to behave. They put you the wrong plate at the restaurant. You look at the plate, you go, ew, I don't like this. I don't like this dish at all. It's the wrong dish. You know, you can also choose to make a big deal and make the poor waiter or waitress, whatever, feel like crap because you are angry about your plate. Or you can just say, you know, this is the wrong plate. Can you change it? Or you might say, wow, I really like this, I'm keeping it. You tell them, you know, this is the wrong plate, but I'll keep it. Is nothing wrong with you being able to control your behavior. Our feelings, for some reason, is just something that is in our heart and in our mind and in our soul. Those feelings are so valid. You can't just say, oh, your boyfriend left you, why you keep crying, just get over it. Get over it. No, it's not that. It's not that your feelings are not valid. And it's not as easy as just get over it, right? You're going to choose the behaviors that are going to get you through the healing of forgetting about that boyfriend that left you, or the husband or the wife who left you, right? You're going to learn to know what to do with those feelings of hurt, of those feelings of disappointment, those feelings of hopelessness. You're going to start to learn to do that, but for yourself, nobody else. Because every time your behaviors are negative, you're hurting only yourself and nobody else. You're not hurting anybody except you. You're probably getting people angry by you always being angry, but it's not affecting anybody but you. your ulcers, your high blood pressure. And the reason why I smile about this, the high blood pressure, is I had a friend that told me, oh, I have to take my high blood pressure in the mornings, not at night, because I always project. So when I get pissed off, like when I get really angry, and I say, why are you planning for that? No, I'm not planning, but what if somebody gets me really angry? So it's good I took my medicine in the morning. I'm thinking like, this lady really believes that if someone gets here really angry and she can't control it, she's already so trained at being angry, at reacting, at experiencing anger. What is it that, unless you're a sociopath and you like and say like, oh, I don't care what anybody thinks, and I don't care about my behavior, I'm not responsible if you feel bad or not good, or however you feel, I don't care, and you just do whatever you want with it, with your behaviors, your behaviors and other people's behaviors. You don't care. You just don't care. Right? You constantly find yourself in places where people is criticizing you, people are angry, friends are walking away from you. It's not anybody's fault but your behaviors, right? This person or this friend or this husband or wife is not being nice to you and constantly putting you down, or even you're maybe afraid of the person getting angry. You don't have to be there. You have the right to be sad because they're not good to you, but you also have the right to move on, to leave. You don't have to stay in any place, any single place where you're not comfortable, where you're not happy, where you are sad, right? You have to understand that every single thing in life is going to be coming to you on a daily basis. The day is sunny and suddenly a cloud comes and starts raining. Are you going to go start screaming at the sky and saying, why did you dare to rain on me? You won't be able to do that, right? Same thing with everything that comes to us. The beautiful thing about life, like I said, life is delicious. The beautiful part about it is that you're in control of those behaviors. You're in control of everything you want to decide to do with your life and your health. Addictions is a behavior that we choose. A behavior. Why? Why do we choose to hide our hurt into those behaviors, those addictions? Could be alcohol, drugs. Why? Why do we choose to hide in behind that behavior and let life roll? When we least expect it, we're no longer 20. Why do we do that to ourselves? And if I make a difference someday with whatever I'm saying, at least you need to remember that if you get any kind of feelings, acknowledge your feelings, respect your feelings, every kind of feelings, sadness, respect that feeling, and look for the best option of how to deal with that feeling of sadness, of hopelessness, of anger. Find the best option. What's the best way for me to behave towards this feeling, right? I have friends that were dating somebody. Suddenly they find out that person that they already fallen in love with is married or has somebody. And that hurts awful. You feel not beautiful, you feel awkward, you feel fat, you feel short, you feel ugly, you feel all kinds of things that make you feel very, very self-aware, and suddenly you start having these feelings of not being enough, right? What are you going to do with that awful, awful feeling? Well, you're going to face it. You're going to face it by learning what are the steps to deal with that loss. You're going to go through the whole crying, the whole cycle of the no, it's not happening, it's not true. Oh yeah, it is happening, and accepting it that it happened. But moving on and always acknowledging your feelings. Always allowing your feelings to be acknowledged by the most beautiful person in the world, and that is you. The only companion that's going to acknowledge your feelings with deep, deep sympathy is yourself. So do that. Do that for yourself. Help yourself. Help yourself be present for yourself. Present. And be very vigilant on how you're going to be dealing with your behaviors. You find out, oh, this person stole my money. You can find appropriate ways of dealing with that. There's the small claims court, there's the police, there is all kinds of good things you can do that will get you the results that you need, right? But if you go and say, he stole my money, I'm gonna go key his car, I'm gonna break his mirror, so he'll pay for what he took from me. Well, that is anger that can bring you consequences, and then somebody saw you keying the car, and then the police gets called, and then now you're the bad guy. You're the bad one, right? Why? Because you didn't think about your behaviors. You did not understand that, yes, your feeling is valid 100%, but your behavior was not, right? So every single action has a reaction, like I said in the first video. And you need to know what reaction you want. And I always tell people, when you have some person that's annoying you, just making your life miserable, ignore them, block them, don't respond, because no action has no reaction. No action has no reaction. Nothing will happen if you just be very aware of your behaviors, and that will help you in solving a lot of things that are coming your way, or maybe things that you're facing right now. Maybe you're a young person living in a home where everybody's fighting and screaming and nobody cleans the house, and you're the only one cleaning and trying to live a normal life, and everybody's chaotic. Well, work hard on a way that you can move out of that environment. There's always an exit. There's always an exit from poverty. There's always an exit from abuse. There's always an exit from domestic violence. There's always an exit from addictions, always. And that exit is you. How do you exit? Well, you observe your behaviors. Last class lesson that I called was, you have a week of observing yourself, the good and the bad. Maybe that helps you find out, what is the patterns I use when I get angry? What is the pattern of behavior I have? Do I cuss a lot? Do I say F this and F that? Or do I really analyze what's coming to me as a human, not as a gremlin? You all should watch the movie The Gremlins, because that one in particular tells you how not to behave. That's how they behave. Just whatever comes to them, they just behave without any thinking. And you're a human being. You have to think. You have to think with your mind and your heart. And like I mentioned, also meditation helps you to stop thinking, clear your mind, and become a totally different person. And I appreciate you listening to me, and I see you next time. Thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. I hope I make a difference with some of my lessons. Bye-bye.